Hello all. Today we'll write a simple Python program to show or to perform a simple transaction in a bank account. So the main purpose of this program is to demonstrate the use of functions or how to write simple functions. So the problem statement is like this: the user will enter the transaction log, and based on that log we'll update the balance in the account, right? So here we'll start our program. So this balance is a variable which is initialized to 0 to begin with. The account balance is 0. Then we'll ask the user, do you want to enter the transaction log? If he says yes, we'll take the input from the keyboard and store that input. We'll store that input in a variable called a choice. Now we are going to continue entering the log till the choice is yes. So while choice is small y or choice is capital Y, we will continue in this loop, right? So we'll ask the user enter the transaction log. So user will enter two values now. One is the transaction he want to perform, that is whether to deposit or withdraw. So that will store in TRX variable. TRX will store either deposit, D for deposit, and small W for withdraw. So TRX will store that, and in the amount variable will store the input. Now the input will be taken and that input will be converted into float because the amount will be float. So by default the input is a string, so that will be converted into a float. So after user enters two values, the transaction type and the amount, we'll check what he entered in the TRX variable. If TRX equal to capital D or small d, we will call a function called as deposit, and to that function will pass the amount which is entered by the user. Else if user enters W, so capital W or small w, will call the withdrawal function, and to that function will pass the amount which is to be withdrawn. Else, that means if user did not enter either D or W, he entered something else, then we'll say invalid transaction, right? So that while loop will continue and read the transaction log, right? D amount, W amount, D amount, W amount, that kind of log this while loop will read, and based on that log we'll call the deposit and withdrawal function. Then we'll continue, we'll stop this while loop when the user enters he did not want to continue, right? So this while loop will stop when the choice entered by user is not Y, something else, right? So when we come out of this while loop, we'll print the balance, right? So balance is a global variable, right? So now let's go to this this function deposit and withdrawal. Here is the function deposit. We write function in Python by using a keyword def, define deposit, and to this deposit we passed amount, one variable from there, so we must have one variable here. So this amount name, this name of the variable may be different from the name of the variable which we passed from there, because this is local to this deposit and that is local to this program. Okay, so now but the balance, the variable balance is global. We are using the global balance variable, that's why when we need to declare in the function global balance, right? So this balance is a global variable, that's why we need to say we are using the same balance which we declared here, right? That's why global balance. So then we will say balance equal to, because this is the function to deposit, that means we are adding amount in the account. So balance is equal to balance plus amount. So that's how this function will execute. Now withdraw function, to withdrawal function also we passed amount. Now again the balance is global variable. So in the withdrawal we'll check whether the amount is greater than balance. If amount is greater than balance, we'll say insufficient funds, we cannot withdraw, right? Else we'll deduct the amount from the balance because it's withdrawal function, right? Amount or balance has to be deducted. So balance is equal to balance minus amount. So that is the withdrawal function. So let us execute this program and check. Just a moment. I am running this program in Google Colab. Google Colab environment is a very simple environment and very I mean, you need not install anything on your machine, so you can run programs in the browser itself. So let us execute the program. So let's say Y. I want to enter the transaction log. So enter the log. I enter deposit and I entered 300. Do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. I enter deposit again, and this time I enter 500, and now it is asking me, do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. So we are asked to enter the transaction log. Now this time I want to withdraw, so I'll enter W for withdrawal, and let's say I want to withdraw 200 rupees. So do you want to continue? This time no, we don't want to continue. So yeah, balance after the above transaction is 600 rupees. So the balance is being displayed. You see here we deposited 300 plus 500, 800, and we drawn 200. So balance has to be 600. So that's the simple way to write the Python program to demonstrate the use of functions. This is how we write functions in Python. Thanks for watching.